Voter Suppression Executive Order. This is Law and Society. Please subscribe. Donald Trump wants to issue an executive order to require voter IDs in the midterm elections. On its face, any such executive order is unconstitutional. The Constitution vests upon Congress in the various states the responsibility to legislate for and administer our elections. States oversee and enforce election laws. Congress legislates and presidents sign into effect election laws unless there is a supermajority, which is 2/3 of both chambers of Congress, in which case the law goes into effect even without the president's signature because it becomes veto-proof. But aside from signing into law, the federal executive has no power to enforce election laws. That power remains with the states. States administer and enforce election laws through their election commissions. State law enforcement police election venues. Other than congressional law, no other federal action can change election laws passed by states and Congress, like an executive order, for example. States have no obligation to adopt and enforce presidential executive orders that operate to impact elections and the right to vote. Doing so actually violates our rights to vote and several sections of our Constitution, including Article 1, Section 4, Clause 1, which is the Elections Clause, and the 10th Amendment, from which states derive their general policing power. Federal law enforcement can only intervene in elections if states discriminate and infringe upon the right to vote. In such cases, DOJ intervenes to stop violation of the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. While nothing in our Constitution expressly forbids the federal executive to act on election matters, in our history and tradition, presidents have never interfered in elections unless there has been a violation of the Equal Protection Clause. Our histories and traditions must be preserved. They form the bedrock of our democracy and the genesis of the rule of law and ordered liberty that guides American jurisprudence and public policy behind laws passed by Congress. But it is clear at this point, months before the midterms, that Donald Trump intends to interfere in the midterms. Just know that that changes nothing for us. If you can afford it, get a passport as soon as possible. While on one hand, the GOP is trying to ram through the SAVE Act that will require proof of citizenship to vote, Trump's State Department is sabotaging thousands of communities by closing down passport services at 1,400 libraries across the country. And this is just the beginning. Our voting rights are under assault from all sides, from redistricting to gerrymandering to State Department subversive actions to Donald Trump's upcoming election executive order. We'll see more ways in which Donald and the GOP will make it difficult to vote while spreading disinformation about the elections. No matter what they say, update your voter ID documents and take them with you when you go to vote. If you cannot afford to get a passport, carry all the documents you have that prove that you are either born in the United States and therefore an American citizen or were officially naturalized. Such documents include birth certificates, citizenship certificates, marriage certificates, and name change certificates. Take photocopies of these documents with you as well. In some instances, if you go to your city clerk's office, they can provide you with copies of marriage and name change documents along with the city or county's seal. This only applies if the name change and or marriage happened in the same place where you still reside. Donald will find a national security pretext to deploy federal agents to oversee the elections. He'll issue such an executive order as elections near. States and various organizations will take the order to court. In the meantime, we the people need to be ready for the worst. And that means having all your citizenship documents compiled if you cannot afford a passport. That means not being intimidated by federal agents if they present you with an impediment at the election locations. It means reaching out to your election officials and or local police if federal agents take away your IDs and refuse to return them or refuse to accept them as valid. Don't get into a confrontation with federal agents. Just call 911 instead, or demand that officials from your election commission verify your papers. If you vote by mail, complete your ballot and mail it back as soon as you can. Don't wait till the last minute. Remember, the Postal Service is a federal service, and Donald Trump can throw a rut in that as well. Also, weeks after mailing your ballot, contact your election commission and confirm that they have received your ballot. This is something that I do since I vote by mail, and I'm telling you this because I want you to be prepared and ready. I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm telling you this to prepare you. I'm telling you this because part of Donald's disenfranchisement strategy is to make processes so complicated and cumbersome for you to get valid voter IDs and or proof of citizenship that you give up and don't vote. I'm telling you this to empower you to start acting now, taking these steps and being ready to prove your citizenship so nobody can tell you that you cannot vote. With that said, get ready with your papers. Like I said again, if you can afford it, get your passport as soon as possible. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.